Hello again, my beautiful people, Jamaican youth in the building yet again. And in this one, we're talking about, can Steve McClaren solve the Leon Bailey issue? Yes, my beautiful people, as we all know, a new coach has been hired in the person of Steve McClaren from Manchester United, leaving his position at Manchester United to take up the head coaching role at Jamaica Reggae Boys. And immediately, after he would have been introduced, I mean, I'm guessing he will be introduced sometime this week, and we'll get to kind of talk about, how he's going to play for Jamaica, what type of style he will bring to Jamaica, and all of that. I mean, all of those questions are going to come, but the issue of Leon Bailey not playing for Jamaica is still there. Will that be solved? And if so, how is he going to solve that? Well, kind of here to talk about it a little bit. Before we get into it, want to ask you to do the usual. Can you hit that like button? Hit the like button so that it sends the video out to a lot more eyes. And if you haven't subscribed as yet, please hit the subscribe button. We're trying to grow the channel here, and your subscription definitely helps. So without further ado, let's talk about it. Can Steve McClaren solve the Leon Bailey issue? And when we're talking about the Leon Bailey issue, we're talking about the fact that Leon Bailey has not played for Jamaica since December, or is it November? November 2023, when he played against that game in Canada. He was suspended by coach Jaime Halgrimson, the previous Reggae Boys coach, and he has not represented Jamaica since. And if you have been following Jamaica football, you would have seen the discourse in the space about how people felt about it, how people feel about him not playing for Jamaica, him getting a call up for Copa America and turning it down. You know what I mean? And it has been talked about on international channels as well. And Jamaican fans kind of feel a way about it, including me. I said my piece about it. But at some point, we have to move past this. And the truth of the matter is this: a World Cup is coming around, and I'm pretty sure that Leon Bailey would like to play in the World Cup. So I'm assuming that some way, somehow, he will be back in the team. But we would rather that to be sooner rather than later. Now, I know a lot of fans are of the opinion that, let's move past Leon Bailey and leave him out. But if you put yourself in the shoes of the coach, if you were coaching Jamaica's team, would you want to have Leon Bailey in your team or not? If you're Steve McClaren coming in, you have nothing to do with whatever issues he had with the JFF or the previous coach. He has nothing to do with that. He's brand new. He's coming in with a clean slate. Wouldn't you want your best players? And the truth of the matter is, Leon Bailey is one of the highest profile players in England right now. And even some of the players that we're trying to get that are English-born players that have Jamaican heritage, Leon Bailey has a higher profile than some of those players that we're trying to get to. So it stands to reason that any well-thinking, well-meaning coach would want Leon Bailey in the team. And I personally would want to see him back in the team as well. Even though Leon has not really performed at his best for Jamaica up until now, the form that he's in right now, we have never had him in this type of form in a Jamaica squad before. Every time Leon Bailey has been in Jamaica's team, he has kind of been halfway in form, halfway out of form. He has never been in this full-flowing form. As a matter of fact, towards the end of the Premier League season last season, he was in the best form of his life. So, can Steve McClaren get this? Well, I think the obvious answer to that is yes. I'm pretty sure he is capable of getting. I think Steve McClaren is going to have a little bit more respect. He will command a little bit more respect from all the players, whether you're a local-born player or an overseas player. He's a former England manager, was recently at Manchester United, has coached across the spectrum in England. I hear some fans saying that, he doesn't really have that stellar of a record, in England. And, even though he has a winning record for England as an England manager, he never qualified for the Euro. And that proved to be his undoing. In 2008, I think he never qualified for the Euro. So that proved to be his undoing. And he never coached England again. But I think this is just a little bit of a commentary on the quality of the hire. I think it's a decent hire. Again, I would have preferred to see a Argentinian or a Spanish coach, but I can also understand the logic behind hiring an English manager, because he's going to be able to relate to the English-based players very well. And the truth of the matter is, the majority of the players that play for us these days are English-based players, are English-born players. And also, we're still trying to get some more players to come, and play for Jamaica. The Mason Greenwoods, the Morgan Gibbs Whites, the Reese Nelson, the Mason Holgates, etc. We have players that we're still trying to come into the squad. And now we have a manager that, you kind of think if he calls this player, more than likely, this player could answer in the affirmative. Also, considering that Steve McLaren has been at Manchester United as long as he has, Mason Greenwood has been there before. So I'm pretty sure there's a relationship between Steve McLaren and Mason Greenwood. And I think I saw an interview that Rudolph Speed gave where he said, there's one coach we're interviewing that, we ask him, tell him, say we want this player. And him say, I can call this player. I have his number in my phone. Something to that effect. I don't, I'm paraphrasing. But the point is that I think Steve McLaren was the coach that he was referring to. I'm just saying all of that to talk about the pull that he has, and the fact that if there is any coach that could have solved this Liam Bailey issue, he would be the type of coach. No, it's important to point out, though, that we can't have another disruptive situation. We can't have another disruptive situation where some demands are being asked about, and the demands are kind of over the top. For Liam Bailey, I'm talking about, like, it has to be within reason. And I personally don't think some of the things he's asking for is unreasonable. If the player wants a room to himself, give it to him. If he wants a little bit of more security, I don't see any problem with that either. But if you're going to say, X amount of Phoenix players has to be in the team and all of that, I think that's kind of, no. You can't hold the federation hostage to play somebody that they haven't called. So that's the other thing that I think Steve McLaren will bring to the team. I don't know, I hope that he's not the type of pushover manager where he can tell that anybody can tell what to do. What I mean? He'll run things his way. He'll bring his own backroom staff. He'll have his own assistant, etc., etc. So we want to see the Liam Bailey issue solved. I mean, I've said a lot about how I felt about how he dealt with the team, but at the end of the day, he's our highest profile player. I'm still a fan of Liam Bailey. I still will be watching him in the Premier League when the season starts. I wish him all the best with the CONCACAF Player of the Year thing that he is nominated for. But at the end of the day, my primary concern is him playing for Jamaica. I want to see him in Jamaican colors, and I want to see him playing for Jamaica the way how he plays for Aston Villa. And that is what I am concerned about. And that's all the fans want. That's all fans want of Liam Bailey. So I hope that can happen. And I just hope that we can move past this. I hope that who needs to talk to who, that happens quickly, and we can start with this new coach in a brand new era with all of our best players available, including some of the dual nationals that we're trying to get. All right. So that's how I feel about it. I'm going to leave it there, everyone. On your way out, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. And until next time, take care of yourself. Walk good. Peace out.